The story is told through the eyes of John, a former associate of Julian Mantle. Julian was a superstar trial lawyer, wealthy, aggressive, and workaholic, who lived a life of excess. After a near-fatal heart attack in court, Julian disappears, sells his mansion and his red Ferrari, and heads to India. 3 years later, he returns to John's office, looking 30 years younger, radiating peace and vitality. The rest of the book is a night-long conversation where Julian passes on the wisdom of the sages of Savannah. The wisdom is encoded in a surreal story that Julian asks John to visualize. Each element represents a pillar of a fulfilled life. You are sitting in a magnificent, lush green garden. In the middle of the garden stands a towering lighthouse. Suddenly, the door of the lighthouse opens and a 9-foot-tall, 900-pound Japanese sumo wrestler walks out. He is wearing nothing but a pink wire cable covering his private parts. He finds a gold stopwatch and trips over it, falling unconscious. He is awakened by the fragrance of yellow roses and notices a path covered in diamonds. 1. The garden. Master your mind. The garden represents the mind. Most people let weeds, negative thoughts, worries, and past regrets take over. The lesson: you must stand guard at the gates of your mind. Technique: the heart of the rose. Staring at the center of a fresh rose in silence. As your mind wanders, pull it back to the flower. This builds concentration muscle. Technique: opposition thinking. Because the mind can only hold one thought at a time, you must immediately replace a negative thought with a constructive, positive one. 2. The lighthouse. Follow your purpose. The lighthouse represents the Dharma, or life's purpose. The lesson: happiness comes from seeing a goal and moving towards it. The 5-step method for attaining goals. Form a clear mental image of the outcome. Put positive pressure on yourself, for example, a public commitment. Attach a timeline. Practice the magic rule of 21. Perform the task for 21 days straight. Enjoy the process. 3. The sumo wrestler. Practice Kaizen. The wrestler represents Kaizen, the Japanese word for constant and never-ending improvement. The lesson: self-mastery is the DNA of life mastery. You must do the things you fear. The 10 rituals of radiant living. Solitude, physicality, live nourishment, abundant knowledge, personal reflection, early awakening, music, spoken word, congruent character, and simplicity. 4. The pink wire cable, the strength of willpower. A cable is made of many thin wires. Alone they are weak, but together they are unbreakable. The lesson: small acts of discipline, like getting up earlier or eating better, build a reservoir of willpower. Technique: vow of silence. Practicing silence for an hour or a day to test and strengthen internal control. 5. The gold stopwatch. Respect your time. The stopwatch represents the most precious commodity, time. The lesson: time slips through our fingers like sand. Busyness is not the same as productivity. The deathbed mentality. Living every day as if it were the last. This doesn't mean being reckless, but being intentional and refusing to procrastinate on what matters. 6. The fragrant roses. Selflessly serve others. The roses refer to the Chinese proverb, A trace of fragrance always remains on the hands that present you with roses. The lesson: to elevate your life, you must elevate the lives of others. Practice: perform daily acts of kindness without seeking recognition. Cultivate a spirit of contribution. 7. The path of diamonds. Embrace the present. The diamonds represent the small, everyday wonders that we overlook while chasing the big things. The lesson: happiness is a journey, not a destination. Practice: live in the now. Watch your children grow. Enjoy the sunset, and stop sacrificing today's joy for a future that may never come. 3. The three mirror philosophies. Throughout the dialogue, Julian emphasizes three core shifts in perspective. The secret of happiness is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. The power of the subconscious. Everything is created twice, first in the mind, then in reality. Use creative visualization to pre-live your success. The golden hour. The 10 minutes before you sleep and the hour after you wake are the most important. They program your subconscious. 4. The transformation. Julian finishes the story by explaining that he didn't find himself in the mountains. He simply removed the layers of ego and social pressure that were hiding his true self. He encourages John and the reader to realize that the most important time is now, and the most important person is the one you are with.